Hey guys, what's going on? This King said here. Hey, if y'all want to go ahead and start your own podcast, Anchor is a great way to do that. Firstly, you'll be able to make money. Everybody loves money. Why don't you do it on Anchor? Also, it's a great way to get people to notice you and to get your message out to the people, to the public, and just be able to express yourself freely as well as just have fun. What's good? What's good, YouTube? What's going on? Today is Tuesday the 13th. At least it ain't Friday the 13th. That's scary shit. Anyway, we got some major topics to talk about today. Starting with, I'm sure everybody has seen the video of the lieutenant, a black U.S. Army lieutenant, getting pulled over by the police. This is supposed to be a traffic stop based on his license plate not being in the right place or something of that nature. Um, Basically, I'm just here to talk about the video. What I've seen in that video was disgusting and just plain wrong. I mean, it just pretty much shows me what these police officers are not trained on, which is what's that word? Where they're just working together cohesively. There's no cohesiveness in the law enforcement department or in the police department. What I was observing is one person is telling him to keep his hands out, and then the other person is telling him to open the door. I mean, that's pretty much contradictory. But if you were paying any attention to your coworker or listening to what was being said during that time of the instructions being yelled out at gunpoint, uh, then you should automatically know, okay, you telling him one thing, but I'm telling him another. So I need to either back off or let him take lead or vice versa, whatever. But the whole treatment of this black lieutenant, was unnecessary just for, trying to find out why or what was going on with his license plate. The pepper spraying him in his face, which was unnecessary. Um, they were telling him, basically, saying that he was uncooperative, but he was cooperating to the best of his ability and his emotions being in fear of what the police might do if he makes the wrong move, such as reach back when one person is telling him something different, and one person is telling him, unbuckle your seatbelt, get out the car, and then another one is telling him, keep your hands out the window. Now, to the one that was holding the gun, if he was the one that was telling him to keep his hands out the window, that would have been a trigger if he was to reach back and try to, follow the second or the first officer's instructions. Therefore, resulting in him, releasing his firearm and possibly fatally killing or wounding that lieutenant. Which, if, I could see if the lieutenant was being malicious or just being outrageous, swerving around in his car or whatever, suspected of having a firearm or whatnot. I'm sure he had a firearm, but never showed it to anyone or had a report that he was doing anything other than just driving around or whatever the case may be. But I don't understand the reason that they had guns pointed at this person. I'm sure if it was a Caucasian or some other race of nationality or just any other race of person, they would not be so hasty to pull out their firearms and try to instruct this person, knowing what could happen or would happen if he makes the wrong move. I just don't see how, as African American people dealing with the police, I mean, how are we supposed to not win, but how are we supposed to follow the instructions or feel safe enough to just, be around police officers without the fear of them, going being trigger happy and just being like, okay, I see him, reach for something, but really you just seeing him, pull up his pants or something. Which, in a case, there is one instance that a individual was shot while and killed while trying to pull up his pants, and it was an African American. And let me look up the name. I just, it is kind of crazy that we cannot trust our officers nowadays. It's just like who can we really call on when we need protection, when we, need help without, it being an instance of backfire. Say a black person calls the police officer on someone else, but then they end up coming on to the one that called them. I mean, I can see now why so many people hate not or distrust the system and the police officers of their city. It's just disheartening that we have to keep looking out over our shoulders for our own, the police officers and whoever else. It's like a war against everybody, really. Different races that hate us or hate certain people of a certain race. They constantly have to just watch out for the police and other people. It's how can you feel safe and feel able just to live a normal life without having to worry about what could or would or what could happen to you just living your day to day life. And I'm looking at a chart here that's stating how many people have been shot by the police in different demographics and race. Here in 2017, the whites 457 people. Um, then it dropped down to 399 the next year 370. In 2020, 457. As far as the blacks, 223. 2018, 209. 2019, 235. 2020, 241. Hispanics, 179. These numbers are just insane to me. There shouldn't be any 100 anything of people getting shot by the police unless they are trying to shoot them or cause bodily harm to the officer in question. But just out of accidental shootings and all of that, there shouldn't be anything like that. They should be more well trained, handle their emotions, handle situations. I mean, me as a security guard, the last resort would be to pull my gun. The steps you take when handling anyone, the last resort would be to pull your gun. As if the person has a weapon or something that could cause bodily harm to me. I mean, if the person is basically just trying to fight me or whatever, the only thing I'm gonna pull out is my mace. The next thing, if a person pulls out a a weapon of some sort, such as like a stick, I can pull out a baton. This is called 1v1. Now, if you are in security, that's the basic thing that you learn. 1v1 and 1+1, which, if the person has a knife, I can get a knife, or I can upgrade it to a gun. If I feel that, I don't want to deal with the person with the knife, just, pull out my firearm. That's the 1+1. Now, what I was taught, at no given time, you are to shoot towards the head area. The only areas you should be really trying to target: hands, like arms, lower chest area, stomach, legs, but never the head. Which, in this case, these officers that are being reported and recorded are pretty much aiming to kill for minor offenses, and not even aggression. I mean, my God, I felt for the man that was shot dead. I forgot what his name was. He was at a convenience store. I don't think he was trying to do anything out of the ordinary as far as cooperate. I believe the officer just, opened fire on the African American individual and just killed them for no reason. Or a hollow reason that they made up. Now, excuse me. In most of these instances, these individuals are unarmed. In that case, use a taser, mace. Pretty much that's the only thing you really need to be using. An unarmed individual is a minor threat. The only thing you need to use is those two things. A taser and mace. If they were trained correctly, they would know that. But anyway, these are my thoughts. I just feel that, at this point in time, until the police are retrained, they cannot be trusted. I just don't see how we can just live with police knowing with these certain bad apples, but then again, they're all trained the same way, so, how can we know if they're all bad apples or some of them? It's just hard to tell. Anyway, I want to hear y'all thoughts on the situation. So, leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Do you like unique sayings? Do you like meaningful graphics? Also, do you like to wear the latest styles? You should visit Royal River Style. There, you'll find the hottest designs, unique t-shirts, and clothing for your everyday needs.